Not a single civvy. I don't like this shit.
Gun! Sniper! Weapon smoke! Where the fuck is he?
Hey guys, Vogue Nasty here for Classic Elite, and this is Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360. This is also available for both PC and PlayStation 3. I will also be reviewing the multiplayer and the co-op modes, but this is the single-player campaign. Let's go ahead and start with the graphics. This game is obviously beautiful. It has a very overexposed look. It kind of reminds me of Kane and Lynch too. There are a few problems. The game is very dark. During the nighttime sections of the game, it is really hard to distinguish who is friend and foe, and there is no night vision to be seen in the video game. So, this game has interrogation scenes throughout the game that progress the narrative, and during these scenes, there is this dust in the air and on the lens of the camera, and while it looks cool and is technically impressive, I found it really distracting. And there were other graphical issues that came up later that I will talk about. Other than that, this game's graphics are superb. The sound is on the same level as the graphics, and is especially good if you have a quality surround sound. All the different weapons sound really great. The weapons sound different depending on the environment that you fire them in. The explosions sound really good and really thump through your subwoofer. And the music, while it doesn't stand out a lot, what I did notice, I liked. I thought the sound, personally, I thought the sound in Bad Company was a little bit better. And the sound in this game is great, but I still felt it was a step down from that.
Go ahead. Come on. Pull the trigger.
The weaponry is very diverse. I found myself constantly dropping a weapon that I had been using to pick up a new one because I'd never seen it before. I'd never seen it available. I'd never used it. There's a lot of variation in this game from level to level. You're very rarely doing the same thing twice, and you play as several different characters throughout the game, although the Marine that you start out as, Sergeant Blackburn, he is your main protagonist throughout the game. This does keep the game fresh, but I can't help but feel that DICE was doing a little Me Too on this, because it seems like they followed Infinity Ward's formula, even down to an in-aircraft level that is very similar to the gunship level in Modern Warfare. There are a few things that I really didn't like about the gameplay, and that is the enemies always seemed to know where you were. They always concentrated their fire on you regardless of how many people you had in your squad. This can be really frustrating when there are 5 to 10 enemies on the other side and they are all firing on you while your AI counterparts are shooting the wall directly in front of them and not aiming at the enemy. It can lead to a lot of really frustrating deaths, and I've even had a couple of deaths that were completely out of my control.
Check fire. Friendly's coming out of the mall. Look out!
My biggest pet peeve with this game is my character getting stuck on every little piece of the environment. It infuriates me to no end when I am in the middle of a firefight and I go to run for cover and I am killed because my character got stuck on something 6 inches high. And yes, this does carry over into multiplayer. The story, oddly enough, I think is my favorite part of Battlefield 3. I think the overall story is pretty much the same as any other wartime shooter that's come out since Modern Warfare. You know, there's people in the Middle East that don't like America, and there's people in Eastern Europe that don't like America, and then things happen and stuff blows up. What I did like about it is the overall context and the way the game handles its characters and the things that happen to them. I think that this game is much more about the soldiers that are doing these things as opposed to the things that the soldiers are doing. And I don't want to spoil anything here, but I would very much like to make another video just discussing these issues, discussing what DICE was doing with these characters, and I'll post that later. It will contain spoilers, of course. So, while the voice acting is top-notch in this game, it's from recognizable actors rendered to look like their real-life counterparts, and the production values are clearly through the roof. This is where the game starts to earn some demerits, is in presentation. The game does have some incredible detail, but it is very inconsistent, specifically a lack of interactivity in the environments. Chairs have physics, but the tables don't move. You can't shoot out lights. You can fire on civilians in the city and nothing happens to you. Not that I think you should be able to go on the warpath and kill anything that moves. I just think that if you shoot a friendly, it will say friendly fire will not be tolerated, and you get a warning. I think something very similar could have been implemented, and it would have helped maintain the atmosphere through the game. These things don't ruin the game, but they do take you out of the experience. I think that more attention to detail and consistency could have been given to the entire game. Throughout the game, you have these scenarios that happen, and they are QuickTime events. And anytime a big event starts to happen, you start to anticipate the button prompt on the screen. Very close to the end of the game, there is a very high-profile scenario that is happening, and I was anticipating the button prompt to come up so I could hit it, and it never happened, and I was killed. And given the scenario that was happening, a lot of the gravitas that happened in that scenario was lost because I had to die and restart it and do it again. So again, if it could have just been, the game could have been consistent throughout the entire game, then it would have benefited, because after that scenario, it was right back to button prompts and QuickTime events. Some of the really big issues in this game is it kind of breaks a little. There were frame rate drops throughout the entire game when things get hectic, which is that's a cardinal sin in a first-person shooter. Your frame rate should always be very silky smooth. There were some glaringly bad graphical issues that popped up near the end of the game. And at one point, the game actually came to a screeching halt, and this was not an exclusive event. I had to replay that area a second time, and it happened again a second time at the exact same area.
Get him! He must not get the bomb!
So overall, I think the single-player campaign was really fun and really well done. It does have some issues, but I think that the fact that it's kind of a side note to the overall package that you get with Battlefield 3, with the main focus of the purchase being the multiplayer, which I will review later. So anyway, I do give this my approval, and thank you guys for watching. I will catch you on the flip side.
Dug into a spider hole. I got AT. Give it to Black. Shit, cover's getting ropey. You're the best shot. You see that weapon, Clint? You waste him. Make it count, brother. I'll cover you, and you hit him. Clear your back blast. Stand by. 3, 2, 1. Suppress it! On target!
We good?
We're good.